Georgia's 40-day legislative session gavelled in on Monday as lawmakers took to their preliminary, ceremonial, and technical duties. Representative Jon Burns was reelected as Speaker of the House, and Representative Jan Jones was reelected as the House Speaker pro tempore. Senator John Kennedy was reelected President pro tempore of the Senate. Chambers also set the entire calendar for the year. The 40th and final legislative day, also known as Sine Die, is scheduled for April 4th. Crossover Day, when bills must pass out of their original chamber to survive, will be on March 6th. Also this week, Governor Brian Kemp delivered his State of the State speech, in which he made a strong push for tort reform, even hinting at a special session if necessary. The governor also threw his support behind legislation to lower the income tax rate from 5.39% to 5.19%. Governor Kemp, along with Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones and Speaker Burns, announced their education priorities, which include fully funding K-12 formula earnings, providing funding for additional school safety grants, enhancing mental health support and crisis counseling, and boosting technical education and transportation funding. Speaker Burns announced his priorities for the year in a pre-session press conference where he highlighted revisiting tax cuts, advancing child literacy initiatives, and ensuring the protection of gender-specific sports participation. Lieutenant Governor Jones named chairman for the session, many of whom remained the same from last year. However, the Senate will have 5 new chairs. The House, meanwhile, added 2 new committees, the Rural Development Committee, headed by Representative Lisa Hagan, and the Special Committee on Resource Management, chaired by Representative Brad Thomas. Senator Chuck Hufstetler expects to draft legislation to make the floating homestead exemption created by last session's House Bill 581 mandatory, eliminating the option to opt out. The exemption was overwhelmingly adopted by voters last fall, but many, if not most, local governments are planning to opt out during the next 3 months. New legislation has been introduced to exclude tips from taxation. That's in Senate Bill 2, which was drafted by Senator Greg Dolezal. Next week, lawmakers will be adjourned for budget hearings, and the next day of the session, Legislative Day 6, will be Monday, January 27th. For more legislative updates and commentary, please consider subscribing to our weekly Friday Facts newsletter.